Hey guys, Rodney McClure, Ace Window Tinting, Gasket Pro Tools. I'm going to give you guys a little insight on something. People are asking about how to change the size of a pattern without distorting it. There's many ways of doing it, but you can click on the pattern. And if you want to drag this pattern, I've got a overlay. This is a black copy over a pink copy. I'm going to show you what happens. Somebody suggested I just grab it and pull it. Wrong answer. If you do this and you grab it and pull it, you guys see what happens. It distorts the pattern. This is a no-no. You hit Control Z keyboard, it takes it back. Okay, what I'm going to recommend to you guys, this is advanced. I do graphics and stuff like that, but I'll go over and on the tool section, you can grab it's a square box, and you grab it, you click on it, and you can create these square boxes. That's the most simple way to do it, and that's what I've done here for you, but I'm going to delete this one. Or you can go to the side of the screen. The way my phone's set up here, I can't get this whole screen in there without getting a whole bunch of other BS in there. But if you grab from the side, you can pull a line. If you see this red line coming over, you can change the angle on this line by going into some other settings and doing first one thing and another. That's a whole lot of work too. But you can pull it down from the top and it gets you parallel. As long as your pattern is sitting on the grid straight. So this one I'm gonna have to tilt it just a little bit to get it exactly straight on there, but nonetheless, so here's where we are, and here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna do away with this line here. I created 3 squares, one which the size of them really doesn't matter, which goes right up to the bottom of this thing. But what I've done, I have moved it to the bottom as layers up under this, so it will actually slide up under this pattern, or the pattern will come down over it. So I'm going to go right here and just say this pattern here. I'm going to read out to you. Just say the size. So we want to add an inch to it. So I mean, say we're 22.1 or 21.35, whatever. Not a big deal, but just say you want to add an inch to it. Okay, you can bring this down an inch, however far you want to add it. But the main thing is you do not want to distort it. But you know, if you want a little extra on this side, a little extra on this side, or a little extra down here, if you like the way the top edge is cut. Personally, I always add a little bit to the bottom and to the side, and then I push it up and shave it. Some people don't shave. I shave nearly everything. Just a good bad habit. But nonetheless, I'm gonna get to the meat and potatoes of this thing. So I created this square here, and what I've done, you can click on it, you can rotate this thing different ways. So you can see these arrows how it's showing you straight or rotate. I rotate it in a manner to where it's dead even with the edge of this window. And the reason I've done this is to be able to show you the distortion. If it distorts, I've got slid behind it, so I'm gonna put it over here to the edge of it, give you a little light gap there. I'm gonna go here, same thing with this one. I'm gonna bring it up. Now on the back side of this window, I'm gonna have to straighten this one just a tad. There we go. On the back side of this window over here, this is what I'm going to show you. Most windows, either they're going to be angled this way or straight up and down. This one's curved top back, but the bottom drops off into the door panel straight or parallel. So I'm going to ease this over and I'm going to bring this down to this. So now here's what I'm going to show you. If in fact you grab this and you pull it down, you can see how it distorts it. It drops the top down, it makes it droop. This edge stays pretty well straight. This one runs over it on top of the thing, so it shifts it this way, which is not good. Anytime you're doing something to this program, if you want to hit Control Z on your keyboard, it puts you right back to where you started at. You can do that probably 10 or 15 clicks, Control Z, and erase 10 or 15 moves if that interests you. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring this down. I'm going to show you how to do this and how to keep it where you want it. Okay. Sorry about that. Just got a phone call. I'm going to do this and I'm going to show you how it works. So what we'll do, we'll take this. We'll take this and we'll start over. I'm going to click onto the actual thing, and you see these are called nodes. These dots here. So I'm just going to go here and I'm going to hit shift and I'm going to go all the way across these nodes. That way I can keep them straight. So I'm going to click down and it's going to move on the arrow keys, it's going to move this pattern down. Now you can see what it's doing by doing that. It's keeping this thing straight and uniform without changing the top. It does not change the top at all. So once you do that, I suggest you go over here on this side and click this node, being this one right here, and then we'll highlight it, and I'm going to take the arrow keys and I'm going to move it to the right one click. Did you see how it moved this over? Watch, one click, it closes that gap. Same on the front. You see the small gap, one click left, it closes the gap, completes the pattern. Then up here at the top, you can see where your gap is a little wide. Same thing, one click left. And if you want to make the top wider, go up here and get both of these nodes. One click right. You're spot on all the way around. You've not changed any of you haven't de-skewed the pattern, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And to show you this, what I'm going to do, I'm going to click on this pattern, and I'm going to go up to where it's on the layers. It's not, you can't see this on the screen, but I'm going to move this down one layer. It will drop it directly behind the original pattern, which is in pink on the back side, just like this. Now, if you look, this pink pattern, the top side is still perfect. This side is still perfect, uniform all the way around. We've just added successfully 2 inches to the bottom of this. Now, I'll move this pattern down so you can see. I'll move the pink pattern down so you can see that when you get down here, we're dead on down here. If we move it back up, we're dead on. You can manipulate these things by using these nodes. Now, something else you can do, say this is your template, and this radius up here was a little off, so it had a dip here or a dip there, and I'm going to show you why it has dips. I'm going to blow this up a little bit, and I'm going to show you what happens. When people send in patterns, it's not always that their patterns are bad, but most folks don't know how to cut a pattern. That's the whole issue. So on these nodes, if you go in here, you see these are Beziers right here, and you can take this. If you'll watch right here in the center, watch the difference between this and this. If in fact it goes in and it just barely gets tweaked just a little bit like this, you won't notice it till you put it on, but then you're going to have a dip in your pattern. You see here, you're perfect here, and you got a dip here, and you're fitting back over here. It's like some people say, well, this pattern fits here and it fits here, but it don't fit here. I'm going to hit Control Z. I'm going to remove that I just done. Now I'm going to bring this back up, and you can see where you're back where you need to be. Now here's the issue with all this. If in fact I have added this much over here and added that over there, if you were to do this and your patterns, if you get one that doesn't fit right, make a copy, a carbon copy of your pattern. Just go in there and click on the window you're doing in the program and copy it, and then paste one on top of it. Go to your color palette, change the colors, lay it on top, and you can toy with this on your your off time or whatever. If you're like me, you don't have any of that, you just have to make it. Now I'm going to take this thing, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to distort this edge right here just a little bit. I'm going to move this node. Actually, I'm gonna take this node right here and I'm gonna move it forward. When I say forward, you can see I'm going this way with it. I duplicate that. Now I'm gonna delete this one, and what's gonna happen? It's gonna distort this corner. I'm gonna hit delete. Now, if you look, you'll see this corner no longer fits. That corner sucks, and you go, man, if I had just a little more radius in that corner, what could I do with my pattern and make it fit right? Well, you do have. Let me turn this. I've got this where you can't see. I've done all that for null. I apologize. Let me hit Control Z here. I didn't know this thing wasn't showing what you need to see. It's set up too close. If you go right here and I take this node right here, I'm going to move it forward. Now, do you see how it's distorting this thing? If you're doing a pattern, you go, man, if I just had just one more click or one more edge, I can make this thing fit right. Now I'm gonna go right here. I'm really gonna mess you guys up and show you something. I'm gonna hit delete. This is why some of these patterns don't fit. Somebody done a double stack on a node right there on that in this actual pattern. That's a no-no. I don't care who's making it, they should know better. So if I go right here and delete just one of them, hit delete, we're far better off. Now here we go. I'm gonna distort this node right here, and you go, man, this pattern, if it just had this and this, it would fit good. You might get a pattern that's like this, depends on who sent it in. I think we ought to be required to put a footnote on who made that pattern, who sent it in, because there's some patterns I would just hand cut, would not use at all if the wrong person sent it in. That's another point. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to showing you on this, guys. Just say if you got this pattern, you go, if you like to shave, and you go, man, if I had just a little more pattern on this corner, I could shave it and I could make all this back edge fit like I want it to, like I hand cut it. You have control for this. I'm gonna go right here, double click, add a node there, double click, add a node here. Then I'm gonna take these two right here, actually these three, and I'm gonna move them over one click with the keyboard. You've just successfully added that amount to it, and it's directly proportionate to what it was to start with. I'm gonna move the pattern back over on top of this. See that perfect edge? Now you've got that much added over there that you can shave. This is something you have to get in there and toy with, but I'm glad to help you and show you any way I can on this stuff. I'm all over Facebook. Like I say, Rodney McClure, Ace Window Tinting. I have the Film Benders Guild, which is a site. It's not a huge group, but a group of a lot of knowledge on there. Actually, the man that formed this group for the film and vinyl design users, Thomas Chalowski, he's one of our pioneering members and also an admin on the group. So check us out over there. I'm glad to help you any way I can over there, over here, or whatever. I hope this helps. And like I said, you can go back for reference on this thing. And if you need, any help with it, give me a shout. Like I say, we're all over Facebook. I'll help you any way I can. But in order to, do a pattern correctly, you can't just grab it and stretch it because it distorts it. You have to move the nodes individually, but always create your reference point, which is what these blue blocks represent, a reference point for the factory edge on the original pattern. Hope this helps. See you guys.